Hey, what's up, guys? I don't know if this is working quite the way that I had anticipated here. I am having technical difficulties, so bear with me if anybody is out there watching. Um, Bear with me. Welcome to the channel. This is the Alpha Red comic channel. I appreciate you guys being here, and let me know that you're in the chat. If you could, if you would, that would be fantastic for me to know that somebody's out there. This is a kind of a last minute thing, and so I hope that I can be prepared enough to make it worth your stop here at the Alpha Red comic channel. So what we're going to do today is we are going to be talking about where I am on fulfillment of the Kickstarter, and and also we're going to be talking about Alpha Red, where I am in the process of Alpha Red. We're going to break down a little bit of what I'm currently working on. I'm working on the pages, and I'll show you some of the new pages. So you are in for a treat. If you are a fan of Alpha Red and you have seen some of the comics, and you are looking forward to issue number 6, I am happy to show you some pages. You will get some sneak peeks on that, and then we can figure out what we want to draw. Okay, let me see if I can't switch some things around here and show you possibly. Whoop, hang on a second. Okay. All right, we're going to turn that off. We're going to turn that off. We're going to turn that down. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pick what we're going to draw live on the air. So I'm going to switch this over to. I'm going to switch this, if I can, turn this on to this camera. And this is one of the things. This is a sketch cover that we can be working on later. The lighting's bad because this is actually underneath my table here. But we can be doing a sketch cover for Duke number 1. We could be doing a Spawn cover. So those are some possibilities. I've also kind of sketched out some sketch cards. I don't know if sketch cards are the thing to do or not. I got a Superman one, or we can draw a Batman one. I got those prepared earlier today. But let's talk about where I am in the fulfillment process of the Kickstarter. I am all ready to go. I'm just waiting on a few things. So I did send out the digital copies of Alpha Red. So the people who ordered digital issues have received them. They received them on Easter. So I am super happy that I was able to fulfill that. I promised it in March, and it took me until the end of March to kind of wrap my brain around who gets what. And the 3 people who got the digital comics were able to get it. So I'm happy for that. And so everybody else is going to get them here in April. So I am ready with 50% of the orders, the backers, ready to ship out. So it's just a matter of receiving one more piece, which I did have, but I lost. So the stickers came in early, and so I set them aside. And let me see. Because you're listening to yourself. Okay, I am going to turn. I'm getting technical help from the other room, so bear with me here. Stickers came in early, so I set them aside. If you could leave these things in the chat, Jose, I appreciate it. I'm gonna fix these this audio problem real quick here if I can. Bear with me. Let me turn that off and see if that helps. Give me a thumbs up if what I just did stopped the echo. I'm being told there's an echo. Hopefully there's no more echo. But Jose, I appreciate you being here and listening to me yammer on right before I draw. So The problem with not shipping out the Kickstarter rewards quite yet is that the stickers came in early, and I did not. I thought I put them in a good hiding spot. Too good, because I don't know where they are now. So I had to reorder the stickers, and so they are shipped. They are on their way, and as soon as they get here, the first batch of comics can go out. So I appreciate everybody's patience. Everything is on schedule, so everybody should be getting their rewards by the end of April. So we're in good shape on the Kickstarter. Excuse me. So the next thing is we're going to talk about Alpha Red number 6. Does anybody out there have any questions about crowdfunding and Kickstarters? So this channel is mainly here. Let me take this off. So this. Oh, I'm getting. You can hear your echo because it's working. Does anybody have an echo out there? We can hear your echo because you are listening to yourself. I'm going to take that out. And okay. So we're just going to trust that that is working. So there's also a delay. So if you're hearing an echo and I'm trying different things, hopefully we're resolving the problem. But if you have any questions about Kickstarters, I did just address some of the things from fulfillment I'm in the fulfillment process of the Kickstarter. It was successful, and so I am super happy that I am in this final stage of the Kickstarter process, the crowdfunding process. It's a grind, really. As a creator, my desire is to draw comics, to create comics, to write comics, to do all those fun things that you dream about. And then when you start putting it out there, you need to do this kind of stuff, which is great. I'm actually really enjoying learning the process of streaming, kind of stumbling through it today. I thought I had everything kind of in place, but I spent a little time working on a car right before I came on, and when I turned things back on, things didn't work quite the same way. So I'm scrambling a little bit. But we're on to the part of the podcast, or the live stream, where I talk about Alpha Red number 6. But I do want your opinion on what we should do next. Should we draw? Should we, let me see, let me try something here. I'm being told that there are 2 microphones still. Audio capture 1, intro video. Let me try to turn. I don't know what else to turn off here. How about if I turn, nope, that's that. I need that. Video capture. Not starting off great, guys. I apologize. I'm going to, how about if I turn this off? How about now? I just did something different, and I'm wondering if that solves the problem. Let me know in the thing. What's going on? Matt Flint is in the house. Let's see, Jose, what are you saying here? Getting a stream on my... just did something different. Thanks for the comments. It looks amazing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Guys, you are very encouraging that you are here. So we are looking to see if we're going to do this on the draw stream. If we're going to do... this is what you were talking about, Matt. I'm sorry. I'm scrambling because my... all my equipment is kind of not working the right way, so I do apologize. So let me see if I where did all my stuff go? So the background is there. Okay, audio. Bear with me, guys. I apologize. But I did want to talk about Alpha Red number 6, and I want to give you guys who showed up today on short notice a sneak peek into my process of how I take a script to the thumbnail to the finished page, and we can definitely do all of that. So while I'm waiting, you guys can pick which there we go. Which sketch cover should we do? We're not a sketch cover at all. If you join in late, we can be working on a Batman sketch card. We can be working on a Superman sketch card. But you guys think about that while I unveil some Alpha Red number 6 goodness, sneak peek on the new villain that's being introduced. And hopefully the microphone problems have been resolved. Give me a thumbs up if the microphone issue has been resolved. I was told by my wife in the other room that there is an echo. So hopefully there's no more echo, and we can get on to the fun stuff. Fun. All right. Alpha Red number 5 has been done for about a year, to be honest with you. But for those of you who didn't know, I tried to jump into politics for a year. And when I didn't win in November, I put my mind right back into doing the Alpha Red. And it has been such a joy to be well received by the independent community. So many people reached out, well, not reached out, but just gave me such great advice on things. And I just want to go through the process of how I do it. I just started this process, to be honest with you, and I'm hoping that it is streamlining, that it will streamline what I am attempting to do, which is trying to put out Alpha Red in a more on a more timely, more often is what I want to be doing. So with Alpha Red number 6, I got the help of a writer named Ray, and he reached out to me. So it's always worth it, guys. If you're an aspiring artist or writer, it never hurts just to reach out to somebody and say, hey, are you looking for some help? And initially, I was not looking for any help. I said, I write Alpha Red myself, I draw it, I write it, and there is, I'm a one-man show. I need help. I crowdfund for the colors, and I crowdfund for the lettering. But otherwise, I'm pretty good with writing it and drawing it. I have ideas in my head, and I wasn't looking for a writer. But along comes Ray, and he sends me a note, and he says, hey, are you looking for a writer? And I said, no, I'm good. And I said, just in case, why don't you send me over some samples if you have any samples? And so he does. He sends me, he actually sends me a couple of things, and I printed them out. So he wrote this, Big Bang Adventures Megaton, which I thought was very fun and clever. And then also this. And so when I had writer's block, like bad, I reached back out to him and said, hey, would you give me a pitch for Alpha Red? And that is exactly what he did. And he came back within one day, had 3 stories for me, which was amazing. And I was so appreciative that, you want Duke, Jose? You got it. We'll work on Duke. And so he gave me 3 pitches after 24 hours. I'm sure if you're a writer, you better have a couple of stories in your back pocket. And so he sent me 3 stories, and I said, you know what? Let's grab one of those and rock and roll, because the story that I had coming up next was kind of slow incoming, and I was frustrated with myself, and I wanted to get to Alpha Red, and so that's where we are. And that is page 1. And if I could go through real quick, this quick process here, where we're doing it Marvel style, and so he sent an overall synopsis with some of the beats of the story, and then I said, okay, these things are good. Give me more of a breakdown. And so he starts with page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, just kind of describes all the action that he'd like to see happen, and then I take that and then I turn it into some thumbnails. And this will be page 1 of issue number 6. It starts off in the battle, during the battle that happens in the end of issue number 5. And so while Alpha Red is on the other side of the planet, saving the day, they are, this is Wingman, and he's fighting some demons. And one of those demons becomes the bad guy in issue number 6. So you'll see Wingman, and then a bunch of the other characters. You'll see this is Fangnar over here. He's the demon who's going to come. He's going to attack our main guy in this scene, Wingman. And so there's more fighting, and I'll show you the actual finished page here in a second. And then Wingman sees him, he gets attacked, he gets mauled by him, they fall down, and then while Wingman is being attacked by the demon, he had dropped his guns up here. You see he's dropping his guns. And then Crazy John sees him, comes over, tackles Fangnar. Wingman gets his gun, and then he starts shooting at Fangnar. Fangnar gets away. Fangnar flies out, flies over a city, and wants to create more havoc, and finds a prison. So that's the thumbnails, right? Second choice, Youngblood. Gotcha. I'm excited. I'm excited about that Youngblood cover, to be honest. So this is page 1 of Alpha Red, number 6. And so I took what you see here, and then it becomes this over here. This is smaller than I typically work on artwork, but in order to speed up the process, I am working on a smaller scale, so that it's just to improve the speed. That was page 1. Let's just put them up here, and then I'll just pull them out here. So this is page 2. I don't know if I'm not worried about spoilers, Matt, because I know what happens at the end of a lot of my favorite comics, and I still read them over and over again. So I'm hoping that when you guys see this stuff, you get excited, and you don't forget that you want to pick it up in real life, in person. So this is just the process, right? This is the page here. This is Wingman seeing Fangnar come attack him, and then he's gonna come, and then there he is up here, mauling his head, mauling his face. So that is that. And I'm just getting to page 3 here, where I'm kind of working out all the details of Wingman firing at Fangnar, and then Fangnar's going to get away. So then he'll get away in issue 4, because we need him to get away, because he becomes the bad guy, and he possesses he becomes the new villain when he possesses an old billionaire who is bent on destroying the world, who was locked up in a prison. And then Fangnar comes and possesses him, and then they turn into I haven't come up with the combo of Fangnar. This is Fangnar, his face, and then somehow this old guy and this demon come together, and I have yet to design the new look of Dr. Disastro is his name. So that is the update, guys, of Alpha Red number 6. I hope you're excited. I'm very excited to get to draw it, and I hope that you guys get excited as I share the journey here. Now I made a mess, and I'm looking for the G.I. Joe comic. I hope you're excited. All right, here we go. Here we go. I don't know if you guys are enjoying this Energon universe with Skybound, but my goodness, I know I am. It is one of my favorite things. It is what gets me to the comic shop on a Wednesday, for sure. And I'll just walk in, and I'll pick that up, and I'll walk right out. Whether it be Duke, or the Transformers, or Cobra Commander. I'm not into that, whatever that Riot something. It didn't strike me as, it didn't get the nostalgia going. So let's do Duke. All right. So if you missed my first draw stream, I talked a little bit about how I get inspired when I'm staring at a blank page, and I'll pull out some of my favorite comics. Not just my favorite comics, but like comics by my favorite artists. And my two favorite artists were Joe Madureira and Jim Lee. So I just happen to still have the stuff from the other day, from that draw stream. So what I did was I just went through, picked a picture or two, and they don't even have to be like the main picture of anything. But whatever strikes me is what I use to inspire me to make the drawing. So because it's Duke, because this guy is a soldier, I think maybe I'll use this to inspire me to draw a Duke-like pose in like a soldier stance. So you guys are into that. Let's see what turns out. So I start out with a 4H, right? So he's just going to be standing here, and it's just going to be I'm a soldier holding a AK-47 or so I start out with a 4H. It escapes me. What's the AR? An AR type of gun. Actually, I'm going to flip it around because that feels unnatural to me, because I'm a righty, and so I can't picture the hand and all those motion, all the body parts going the other way. So we're gonna spin this guy around. Just really use that the mood of what Joe Madureira was drawing right there. So I know that soldiers hold guns a certain way, and so you don't even know it until you see it, that is the right way a soldier should be holding a gun. So it's kind of good if you have some reference as far as natural references, because your brain wants to connect right to that image. And let's see, let's get the gun here before we forget it. I don't know if you guys can see this. Hopefully you guys can see this. Hopefully the light isn't drowning it out. Let me turn down the light maybe, so you can see this part of it. I don't know if that's any better. Let's see if I can switch it to the. I don't know if that's better or not. All right, so we're gonna draw like the Duke from the beginning, like this Duke. Oh, look, that's pretty close to the right pose. So we don't want to get too close to that pose, because you can just open the page and find it. So we're gonna go in. So we're gonna draw like the Duke from the beginning. Just let Joe Madureira, the energy of Joe Madureira's picture just kind of take over and just borrow the mood of the soldier. They hold it something like that. They hold it down. I want to say when I think of a picture of a soldier, I see that they're pointing down because it's probably the safest thing. I've never been in the military, but I've seen enough pictures of soldiers, right, that they point the gun down, something like that. And then we'll just let that fist over here go down. Maybe he's holding a gun over here. Just draw the gun and then put the fist around it so that it all works out the way it's supposed to. Finger, 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 thumb, palm, hand, thumb thing part right there. Alright, and then when I draw the hand, it's just like it's like this shape, whatever this polygon or something, and then I go in and then make sure I got enough room for four digits on there. Let me see. Got to run and work on some comics myself. Catch you later. Thanks for stopping by, Matt. I appreciate it. I think that it's a good introduction to the villain for a faith-based comic. Thank you, Jose. Yeah. So like a lot of what Alpha Red is going to be is, it's going to have the spiritual battles mixed in with the evil, the villains, and it's just the world as I see it. Not that every bad person is possessed by demons or whatever, but demon possession is real. I do believe that. I don't talk about it a lot because I don't know where I get all my information. It's gathered just like anything else. It's gathered slowly, and so when somebody says, why do you believe what you believe? And like you say, where do you start? Like I read the Bible, and I listen to, I don't read books as much as I ought to, but I listen to books, I listen to podcasts, and so let me just, for the sake of his costume here, okay. You get your information from a lot of places, and then you have discernment on who you think is trustworthy, and that is how you arrive at what you believe, and you're open to being corrected. And let me see. Who you think is trustworthy? Okay, so he's just got an AR, just some kind of an AR. Let's see what that AR looks like in the middle there, because I don't really know what an AR looks like. But I don't want it to stink. So you got this thing, and then this thing comes down here like so. So Jose, what part of the comic book? What part of comic books do you like? Are you an art guy? Is it you start with the art and then you hope it's a good story, or are you a story guy? And the art could be mediocre and you'd still hang on to it. Are you a superhero guy? You start with the art and then you hope it's a good story. Are you an independent comic guy? What kind of comics do you like? And are you creating a comic? A lot of us fans get these ideas in our heads, and we have to create. Let me make sure that this is still going. Yep. I just want to make sure that there is music going while I'm drawing here. And let me see what the butt of the thing looks like. Looks like a different kind of butt to the pen than I've ever seen. I'm going to trust that somebody did their research, and I'm just going to copy his research. And these are just shorthands that I do as I draw here, just to kind of mark out the place where I need to just to make sure that the composition works out. So I'm just going to use the whole costume the way they designed it there, so that we're not messing anything up. So that the Duke on the cover looks like the Duke inside the comic. Alright, so he's got that. He's got this up here. And then this is really as far as I go with the lighter pencil. And then I'm going to go, got a bunch of this over here. Bam. As far as I go. Alright. And I know that I saw on the first page there, he's got some more stuff. He's got more pocket stuff, ammo and stuff. Okay. Alright, so that is as far as I get with the lighter pencil. And then I go back in with a darker pencil. And this is where I have probably the most fun, because this is kind of where it all comes to life for me. You make all the decisions in here, and it's when you come back later with the, get a sharper pencil here. Do we not have a sharp pencil? I know somebody just told me that Jim Lee likes his pencils dull because he likes the feel of it, how it hits the paper. And I cannot say that I agree. I mean, he knows what he's doing for sure. And I hate to question the master there, but I am not one who shares that sentiment at all. So let me see here. All right. He knows what he's doing for sure. This feels a little bit sharper. So I got the flat top, and got his little ear here. And still, right now, like Joe Madureira is one of my favorite artists, so I enjoy. Let me see here. I don't want to miss you here, Jose. The message is there. The Lord takes care of the rest. I'm looking forward to the issue 6. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. And still, right now, like Joe Madureira is one of my favorite artists. You gotta get the heroic, grizzled face, big jaw. Big jaw. So, as I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of money for comics. So I ended up working at a comic book store in order to really feed my obsession. For 4 years, I worked at a comic book store, and I read just about everything. I was the comic book guy. There's a guy who worked there who was the game guy. I was the comic book guy. And sadly, I don't remember much about what I read. So, you know, as you get married and you have kids and stuff, you know the things that you like. Like I liked X-Men and Spider-Man, of course. And, you know, I forget until people remind me of these great stories that exist. And I go, yeah, I love that too. Like Frank Miller's Man Without Fear. People were saying, like, what's your favorite comic? What's your favorite? I said, I don't really know. I can't put my finger on it. And then as people were saying their favorite comic, I said, yeah, that's a really good one. I remember reading that one. So the older I get, the less my brain wants to remember these things on its own. It can be jogged. Memory can be jogged for sure. I am a one-man creator of comics myself, and I agree that the story is the thing. Okay. Yeah. So the story is so important. Unfortunately, I am more of a art guy, just because that's where I really that was my strong suit. Is my strong suit. As I feel it, I feel more confident. I feel more confident drawing than I do with the writing. So that's why I ended up hiring a young college student to write issue number 6. And it kind of rejuvenated me, because the writing was beginning to slow me down, and it was frustrating because I wanted to get back to the art, and the story that I wanted to tell was longer than I wanted to create. Kind of rejuvenated. I wanted to wait to draw. Just was impatient about getting to the artwork. So let's see what kind of gloves. I assume that these are very tactical gloves, and all the costuming is very practical and real. Take a swig of water. All right. So what's your story about, Jose? Tell me a little bit about your story. Is it a superhero comic, or is it just drama? What kind of story did you feel compelled to create? What's your story about, Jose? Tell me a little bit about your story. Is it a superhero comic? Just drama? Because when I started Alpha Red, it was not a faith-based comic at all. It was just going to be more of a Captain America type comic, and I really was just using it as a way to build up a resume. Something that I could take to Marvel or DC to see if I can get a job drawing Spider-Man or Batman. I really was just using it as a way to build up a resume. I'm just going to leave that open. Marvel or DC. See if I can get a job. All right. Spider-Man or Batman. And what else? Part of it. So this part of the drawing process, I'm really getting the costuming right. The first part was composition. I start kind of with the big details of like proportion and things like that, so that everything fits on the page the way that you want it to. And so this part of it is just making sure that you get all the details in, so that when you go in and light everything, that you end up doing the not forgetting the details of the costume, because there's nothing worse than not getting the costume right, especially for fans who really love their character. And I saw a guy put in a in fan art. He put Green Lantern's ring on the wrong finger, and it was for an art contest. And the judges were like, "This is basic, bro. Do not mess up which hand, how Jordan wears the Green Lantern ring." So just things like that. So this is where this process is important. You just go in and you map out the rest of it, make sure that everything is as dynamic as you can make it. And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna really dial in some of the shadows and stuff to make this picture like a more dramatic picture. The lighting will come down from here and cast a shadow, because that just makes things just that much more interesting. If you're casting a shadow and it's taking over the face, and even shadows where, especially when you're trying to channel Joe Madureira, you're channeling him, and it's he has this dramatic lighting that he does so well, and it just makes everything pop, and things aren't even anatomically correct, and you don't even care, because the lighting just makes everything pop so well, and you're just like, yes sir, that's how that's supposed to look in this stylized world. We would rather it look like the way you're drawing it than real life. But that's the stuff you put in a little bit later. Let's see. I keep looking. I don't know if you can see it or not. But I am looking at the details of the gun to try to best I can not make it look not like a gun, because not all of us know exactly what it looks like. We just know what it doesn't look like, and that's when you're throwing in lines in places that the brain rejects it because it's seen it enough times elsewhere that it's saying, no, not close enough. And you don't have to stick with the original lines for everything. Sometimes you go in and you go, man, that original layout just was not right. Didn't do it right. Don't be afraid to correct yourself. And then when you go in later with the pencils, with the inks, it will be even more different. Take another peek at the gun here. Looks like there's a thing here. Goes up, triangles back this way. Jose, have you ever served? Did you serve in the military? Do you know anybody who served in the military? Or did you just grow up on G.I. Joe like me and so many other people? How cool is that? That's gonna be cool. Because it looks pretty close, I think. Looks enough to pass, I think. Enough to pass. And all this costuming stuff is really cool to see, but it's not always fun to remember to draw over and over and over again. So kudos to these guys who can remember. Maybe they don't remember. Maybe they just have a toy next to them or something like that they pull out. And let's see what else we got the costume wise. So, any questions about Alpha Red that you guys have out there? I'd be happy to give you a sneak peek on the thought process, on how he came to be. I know I've gone on some of these streams before and talked about what inspired it and the journey of how he went from just a normal superhero to a faith-based superhero. And that was my spiritual journey while I was drawing him, creating the comic. And really it wasn't until I leaned into his faith journey that I understood what the story should be about. Not just saving the world from what. And once I figured that out, I was like, oh, he's got to be fighting the devil. Yikes. Do I know how to write the devil? Like, what's the devil going to look like? Because in my mind, the devil is scary, and he's kind of, I don't know. There's lots of ways you could go with him, but I didn't want to draw him in a way that would glorify him. So that was a consideration of what he was supposed to look like. That was a challenge for sure. And I just landed where I landed, and I gave myself the permission to not be too worried about it. So if you haven't already, guys, hit that like button. That really helps out. At least that's what they tell me. I mean, I just hear these guys say it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I try to do one video a week. This past week this is my second live stream. So I'm pretty happy that the technology works. I'm surprised that it does when it does. So, all right. Now I feel pretty comfortable at this point that I can go in and just start doing the shadows and stuff and really putting in the detail that I want to make sure I have when I go in with the inks here. Unless you guys like it in pencil. I mean, inks, I prefer stuff all the way done. Some guys just leave stuff in pencil. I'm like, are you gonna hire somebody to ink that, sir? So, it's gonna, I don't even know what that was right there. Sometimes you just try it. If it doesn't work, just color it in. And, it's a black pen anyway. So, all that's gonna be blacked in. And you got that there, you got that there. And yeah, that's fine there, that's fine there. And the little handle thing. Alright, let's pick some lighting. So the lighting we got coming down from there. So I'm gonna come in with this. And just kind of choose where the shadows fall that will make it as dramatic as I want it to be, because you want the lighting to really help out the picture. You're not just trying to muddy it all up. Several years ago in Germany, basic training in Virginia. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I got a brother who, well, my dad was in the Air Force, Then my brother went into the Air Force. And then he retired from the Air National Guard. I don't know how you retire. He's only 2 years older than me, so he's like 50, 51. And he's retired. Like, what? He retired from the Air National Guard, but he's working somewhere else. He's double dipping, that guy. So what kind of comics did you grow up watching, Jose? If you're still here. If you're still here. What kind of comics did you grow up watching, Jose? So I feel like this should be, just black. And this will be mostly black. I know that I'm leaving it like kind of open like that, but I'm going to try to remember that when I come in, this will be mostly black. But obviously there's some kind of detail up here that I want to maintain. Oh boy, looks like there's an over the shoulder thing. I missed the whole over the shoulder thing. All right, we'll keep that in there. Sometimes an eraser works just as good as a drawing utensil. Is it a utensil? Drawing tool? It's not a utensil. What is it? Drawing apparatus? Can't think of the words. It's late. It's late in the day and I don't have the words. Welcome if you're just joining. Appreciate you guys popping in and watching some art action. I was always mesmerized growing up when I saw somebody draw. I would just stop. My grandpa, he had like a shaky hand, but he would always be drawing, and it was nice. It was nice to watch. I remember he would draw animals on my hand, and all the animals were fuzzy because he had a shaky hand. Art, my favorite part. Also working on Gung Fu Graph, a young teenager graffiti artist fighting. I remember he would draw generational curse. Suddenly, he finds himself on a spiritual path. That's how it works, right? That's how it works. You don't know when God is going to take a hold of you. When you least expect it. That's when God shows up. That is when God shows up. When you are done, when you've exhausted all of your solutions, God comes in and says, "Hey, how about you give me a try?" So, what do you think, guys? What do you think? If you're just joining, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the Alpha Red comic channel. Streaming. This is my second stream, my second draw stream. I appreciate you guys stopping in. Say hi. Say hi in the chat. I'd love to see who is here. All right. Are you guys ready for some ink? So sketch covers are fun because you don't have to necessarily finish it all. It doesn't have to be super duper finished. I guess that's the best word there. So I use these Micron pens. I talked about it last time, but these Pigma Micron pens to ink. I start off with the more mechanical stuff, and then I go back in later with these ink brush pens. and they're just cheap. Zebra is what they're called. I don't know, they're like $2.25 a piece, and they seem to last forever. Like they just get like, I don't know. I don't like how they run out. They run out very slowly. They kind of fade out, and it's just not as dark anymore. You get the lines and you get all that, but when you go to scan them in, that's when you notice that the line isn't quite as dark as you thought it was. What am I doing? Why didn't I start there? I always start with the eyebrows. I don't know why. And I don't know why I just started with the hair there. Messed myself up. If this picture doesn't turn out good, I'm just going to blame it on the fact that I started with the hair. Eyes are the windows to the soul, of course, so that's where you start. You don't get the eyes right, you just scrap the whole picture. Or you make it all shadow. I'm kidding. Yep, so you do have to make it as dramatic lighting as possible to make it interesting. There's just something about the contrast of shadows that make a picture pop. And if you don't have the right understanding of where the shadows go, it can really mess up the picture also. So you want the dramatic lighting, but you also want the reflective lighting coming from this side. So that's always a fun balance when you get it right. You don't always get it right. Then you just black everything out. They knew he has no superhero type of powers when facing his giants. He's helped with supernatural power. That's awesome. Reading Will Eisner. And also Neil Adams Batman and Force Japan anime 1980s. Yeah, I remember that stuff. The Robotech stuff. I know there's a lot more to know about that Robotech stuff. They combined two anime to make Robotech. I just remember like whenever it came on, and it didn't come on often where I was, and I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of TV. So when that stuff came on, I just loved it. And I also have in my handy dandy bag of tricks, like I don't like how the eyes turned out. So there's always this opaque white pen. Let me see if that's, yep, it's good to go here. I'm just gonna try to correct his eyes here. I'm gonna make it all white. I'm just gonna go back and put in the pupil where I wanna put in the pupil again. I just wanna make sure that I remember to go back and not leave his eyes not the way that I want them. So, but that is something that I use to correct stuff. Let me do a thicker pen here. I'm gonna use a 5, and then we'll use the 8 later. But like, I wanna frame him out here so that I know what I'm working with, and that is what I'm just gonna blame it on me starting in the wrong spot, starting on his hair instead of his eyes. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You see, we get our hands on. When can you get your hands on Alpha Red? I'm gonna assume you meant hands and not head. So I'm hoping that Alpha Red number 6 will be done by September. And I'm gonna try to see if there's a way for me to be funding it as I go along, so that by the time it's done, like the whole thing can be done at the same time, instead of like a lot of the times, because I'm not the colorist. That is not a gift that I have. The guys who know what they're doing with the color, it's a whole skill upon itself, and I just don't have the patience to do it, to learn. No matter what I buy to kind of bridge the gap between the skill and the tool. Like I bought a screen that I can draw on. I had these stylus pens. I have all these things that I think are going to be my key to picking a lock to color my own pictures. But even when I do that, they still come up a little bit bland. And the guys who know how to color, they come in and it just leaps off the page. And so I am happy to pay people who know what they're doing, and it saves me time and it looks so much better anyway. And so if I can find a way to get the funding for the coloring as I go, that would be ideal. And it really could look like becoming more popular on YouTube and doing more live streams and things like that, and asking people to chip in, adopt pages of Alpha Red number 6, because it takes about $100 per page to get it colored and to get it lettered. I'm not a good letterer either. I thought I could do okay, and then I do it and it's just not the same. So I get my man Josh Shelton on the job, and he knocks him out, and I'm just happy. I'm happy I didn't have to do it, and I'm happy that it looks like the real deal. Thanks, Jose. No, I'm glad you picked this one. I was looking forward to doing this one, but I was open to whatever you guys chose. And you are hanging out, and I appreciate that. Thanks, Jose. Absolutely. I'm glad you picked this one. So what is your style, Jose? What kind of style do you have when you draw? Who's the artist that influences you, that you allow to influence your artwork? Because as much as I allow Joe Madureira and Jim Lee's artwork to influence mine, I don't feel like it's a copy of their stuff. And so I'm not afraid to tell people that I pick up a Jim Lee or Joe Madureira comic and look at a pose, look at their lighting, because I'm not trying to copy exactly that picture. All right, it is coming to almost, it's past 9:30, and that is the time that I was going to go to. So you tell me, Jose, do you want to watch me finish this, or do you just want to see what it looks like tomorrow after I post it? Because I'll probably stand here and finish it anyway, but I don't want to keep you. Watch me finish this, or do you just want to see what? I don't want to keep you. I appreciate you sticking around this long. No. So you let me know. I can just keep the thing rolling, or I can call it quits here in like 5 minutes. and the rest of it will be finished just by my lonesome. By my lonesome, which is usually how drawings happen. It's a lonely sport. It's a lonely hobby, and then we're expected to come out and be salesmen, try to sell it to people. Hey, check out my comic. And we're just not used to that, because we're used to just sitting at our desks, where I'm standing anyway, standing at my desk. Standing and drawing. I do like the standing. It makes me feel like I'm not sitting there gaining weight, just sitting there from inactivity. Even though I'm not active, I'm just standing. It feels less like I'm sitting around doing nothing. I do like the standing. It feels less like that. And more like I have a shot, I'm like almost moving, just because I'm standing. I could be moving at any moment. Hopefully this works out. Just eyeballing it. And last one. Almost moving. What do you think so far? What do you guys think, huh? You gotta keep those lines straight, because that really takes you out of the picture if things are just off. You're like, yeah, man, it's so close to being a good picture. But James didn't pull out that ruler, and now it looks like garbage. Now it looks like garbage. Takes you out of the picture. So just pull out the ruler. Do the ruler thing for a little bit. Totally worth it. Glad you did. You will be glad you did. I almost never regret it. Pulling out the ruler. At least to do a bunch of it. You don't have to do all of it. You don't have to use the ruler for all of it, but there's got to be enough straight lines for people to say, okay, that's the way it was supposed to go. All right, we're winding down here. Well, Jose, I appreciate you sticking around, brother. Let me pop over here and end it with just let me see how I'm gonna end it here. Let me see. Nope, don't want that. Nope. Do I want that? Nope. I want that. Nope, don't want that. I'll get better at this. I can't get worse, right? So, I was going to show you. What was I going to show you? This thing? Turn this on. Turn this off. There we go. So if you, Jose, I don't remember if you were one of the Kickstarter people, but if you have not had a chance to pick up Alpha Red, this is where you go. You go to Starcross Comics. You can go to alpharedcomic.com. You can pick up issues 1 and 2. Issue number 3 will be coming out at the end of this month. And is there anything else I wanted to show you? That's pretty much it. That's just an advertisement that I put together that I'm going to be putting in different places. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate anybody else who finds this live stream after the fact. I hope that you watched it towards the end, to the end here. And I'm just going to peace out. Just thank you. Grace. Peace. gonna play you the outro video. Hopefully it works. But appreciate you guys.